This story is for those people who constantly blame fate for their failures and personal shortcomings. However, after hearing this tale, you will understand that in actuality, each person shapes their own destiny. This narrative is true to life, and thus, the tale unfolds. There once was a Gurukul where numerous students studied in the middle of a thick forest. For many years, children in Gurukul, ancient India, studied away from their homes. Every child would receive the same education and treatment from the master. The master was instructing the disciples one day. His gaze suddenly settled on a disciple who appeared to be unable to comprehend anything. The teacher approached him and gave him another explanation. But even after repeated explanations, the student was still unable to grasp it. Abruptly furious, the master asked the boy to reveal his palm. The young lad extended his hand in front of his boss. The expert understood palmistry. When the teacher saw the student's palm, he said, "Son, return to your home. It is not worth your while to remain in the Gurukul." "Master, why are you saying so?" inquired the disciple. "Because you do not hold a line of study," the master said. Then, calling another disciple, the master began to explain, "See, this is the line of study, and this line is not in your hands," while raising his hand. Thus, return home without wasting any more time. You can carry out additional tasks and lead your life there. When the child heard this, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a knife to chop wood. He drew a deep line with that sharp knife in his hand. His hand began to bleed all over, and he said, "See, master, I have made a line of study in my hand." To his master, "Tell me, are you going to educate me right now?" The master's heart grew warm at this. His eyes filled with tears as he gave the disciple a hug. "Son, nothing in the world can prevent you from receiving an education," he said. "Because a person's destiny can eventually be altered by perseverance and hard work, even the lines on their hands." It is also said that the same young child went on to grow up and become well known as Maharishi Panini, the author of the renowned grammar book Ashtadhyayi. It would surprise you to learn that even after so many centuries have passed, no language in the world has yet produced a grammar book as good and comprehensive as this one. Had Panini the sage paid attention to his master's words that day and trusted the lines of his hands, then maybe the world would never have met him. But rather than trusting to fate, he made his name shining in the world by believing in his own hard work. Will you still think that the lines on your palm determine your success or failure after hearing this story? Are these the only lines that govern our lives? A lot of the world's greatest people might not have made it to where they are now if life depended solely on human connections. For when one is determined and works hard, even misfortune yields to weakness. Individuals who possess determination and diligence never depend on fate. Instead, they shape their own fate. Consequently, do not curse your fate if you ever experience failure in life. But keep in mind that you can shape your own destiny if you work hard and are determined.